I'm a software developer, and looking at the coup happening in DC, I think we have to understand our responsibility in creating the conditions that allowed this to happen, how we're enabling it right now, and how we're going to have to change what we do if we want to prevent things from getting a lot worse. I've worked as a software developer since the mid-90s, and a lot of what we did back then was automate away middle management. People used to push papers around the office, and that was replaced with email. That was replaced with systems that you could sort of go to an app and like approve things in a way that didn't require as many people. Well, like all of that efficiency replaced the type of jobs you get if you just went to school but didn't study something super technical. So a lot of the middle class got destroyed, and what you ended up with is like a greater and a greater inequality between this tech class and the working class population. Now you combine that with how the Republican Party has sort of managed to hook together economic conservative rich oligarchs with sort of populist rural Christian stuff, and you can start to see how we created a dynamic where rich libertarian types like Musk, who is definitely not Christian, could harness the anger of sort of a rural Christian base against these sort of elite, socially different people who live in the cities and seem to have all these privileges with their jobs, right? Like, as a tech worker, I get paid a lot less than managers or bosses or, people like Elon Musk. But I get paid a lot more than people can make in sort of a rural working class job. And my life is in some ways easier. So that resentment over these changes we've caused in the world is one of the big reasons why opportunists have been able to take that anger and direct it in sort of a very socially conservative direction. And now comes along AI. And AI is going to make the situation a lot worse. If you take like anybody who like is thinking about societal effects, you say if you take this current economic system and you start automating away more of those college educated jobs, what's going to be the societal effects? It's pretty clear, right? But you're not allowed to think that way at work, right? If I go over to LinkedIn and look at all these coworkers who work on artificial intelligence, they're complaining about the restrictions because in a work environment, you're not allowed to be like, this code is a bad idea because of the social outcomes, because most of the time you're working on a very specific thing, right? It's like if you're building a house, you're not like, oh, I have to think about what this house will be used for. You're just doing your job. And anything that makes your job harder, you're going to push back against. So over on LinkedIn, you have people who are very intelligent people who are pushing AI and pushing a lack of restrictions on AI, and then completely confused about why society is spinning out of control.